the first panel discussion of the day, creating resilient cybersecurity framework within organizations. And for that, we have got eminent speakers with us from PSUs, from government, as well as from industry as well. So let me first invite Shri Alok Shankar Pandey, Group GM IT and CISO, Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited, to come on stage. With huge round of applause for him. He'll be playing the role of moderator for this session. Let me also invite Mr. Akshay Kumar Patel, GM IT Communication and CISO, NTPC Limited, one of the leading PSUs of the country. A big round of applause for him, please. I request all our esteemed guests to come inside so that you can hear this panel. I request Mr. Vihor Gupta, GM IT and CISO, NHPC Limited, to come on stage, please. Another important PSU of the country here. Huge round of applause for it, please. I request Dr. Sushil Kumar Meher, Head Health IT and CISO of AIMS. Again, a huge round of applause for him. Mr. Sujay Brahmachari, CIO and CISO, Smart Card Business, Rosemeta Technologies Limited. Mr. Sujay is here? Yeah. Round of applause for him as well. And I would also like to invite Siddharth Shankar, Account Director, Public Sector, Google Cloud, to come on stage, please. So without taking much time, we are starting this session on creating resilient cybersecurity framework within organizations. Over to you, moderator for this session, Mr. Alok Shankar Pandey. Mics on stage, please. Hand mics. We need 2-3 hand mics on stage. Both in hand mics, they will good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on this forum to moderate a wonderful panel with eminent people on the panel who are masters in their own fields in the front. And the topic for today's discussion, which is creating resilient cybersecurity framework for organizations, is very relevant, at least in today's times. And I thought on them. And at the end of the day, if government of India is looking at being a Viksit Bharat 2047, or for that matter, attaining a high-fuel economy in, say, 2026-27, that is the timeline that we are looking at, your business continuity becomes foremost to ensure that you are able to reach those GDP targets. And business continuity has one very serious disruptor, and that is the cyber threats. Till today, or till some time back, we had cyber security being taken very lightly. And you guys also, the threat was not very large. But now, cyber security has become, security is in fact, as I say, a very polite word, it's a warfare. The entire dictum has also been derived from the warfare technology, warfare manuals. Why I say warfare is because it's either a corporate war or a state-to-state war. All the script kiddie, rookies, etc., which are being employed, they're actually being employed to ensure that either national interests suffer or organizational interests suffer. No longer it is just about probing and seeing what I can do. So with that as the background, I will first go to Mr. Patel. So Mr. Patel, given the importance of cybersecurity and the importance of the organization that you are in, I would want you to start with first sharing what are the important threats that you are seeing over the next pattern in the last 1 year or so that you are seeing that are being attacked and that are being attempted on your organization. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. Thank you T4D for inviting us for this event. What we see generally, ransomware is the most important. Then the media is through phishing. That we have seen phishing is primary channel, and of course this USB drive and all the things, those are the media. Ransomware, primarily ransomware and DDoS. So we have to started with this thing for ransomware. or whatever threat, we have to, what we are looking for is the entry to the system. And I think entry will be through internet, through mail, through USB or through VPN. VPN is also part of internet. Now there will be three: internet, USB and email. Now we have to protect all these channels. Of course, insider threats we can take it for later, but when you say external, these are the three channels we have to guard. And for us, USB we have restricted across the network. Email, of course, we are using quite well email security on that. And internet, of course, internet also we are using outgoing, separate internet, only outgoing. So we have proper security on that, and we are monitoring it as well. And this is IT part. OT part is not connected to internet, no email and no USB. That way I can say entry is being restricted. Now, of course, there will be exceptions, and we are guarding that. We are doing the best what we can do. We are trying to reduce the blast area to what extent. So all the things we are taking this threat and sir.
So thank you, Mr. Patel. I will now move on to Mr. Gupta. Mr. Gupta, you come from an organization, NHPC, a kind of hidden force behind things that move. Because without electricity, whichever way, and sustainability being the way forward, you become very critical. Though in the larger gamut of things, you become critical. If you have to have a sustainable growth, you become very critical. What Mr. Patel very conveniently left out of the OT part, I would want you to touch upon your operational technology security challenges that you are facing. Thank you.
Thanks for calling us for this panel, T4D. And the question raised by Mr. Alok is very relevant in this OT technology. Nowadays, OT, main challenges in OT is there's legacy systems. And that because the systems have been developed and designed way back for the lifetime, keeping in the mind of 20 or 35 years. But in the case of this cyber in OT, that changes very, very rapidly changes. But one part that we are saving, that is due to air gap, we are maintaining it from IT and OT. This is the main area by which we are keeping ourselves safe in this environment. Because if OT we hamper, it is both in the human life and on the organization side. Both are very metrics, and we are maintaining this OT security by making this audits. Regular audits is also there, and mainly we are using the one part is that it's OEM dependent. OT is mainly OEM dependent. Mainly, it is governed by OEM policies and all this, because nobody want to touch OT part, OT in cyber. If we say them कि ये regulations आए हैं, ये आपको follow करने हैं, तो कहते हैं भाई देख लीजिए, हमारे पार्ट में अगर हो पाता ठीक है, नहीं तो अगर आपकी हमारी कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं है. इस टाइप की चीजें OEM थोड़ा सा हम लोगों को कह सकते हैं ब्लैकमेल भी करते हैं. तो इसमें OT पार्ट में हम लोगों को ज़्यादा रिसर्च करने की ज़रूरत है, और इसका ये पैच मैनेजमेंट भी उसमें बहुत बड़ा इशू रहता है. तो दैट कैन बी डन बाय डूइंग डिजिटल ट्विन वी कैन मेक, बट डिजिटल ट्विन इज ऑल्सो ए costly affair. Every OT installation cannot do that digital twin. So it is the main resource crunch is also there for this. This is the main reasons.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. You touched upon, in fact, I made you touch upon operational technology, and my friend Mr. Patel before that talked about ransomware. And who better to talk upon combination of both than Dr. Meher, who operates a whole set of operational technology, and both of them said air gap. He doesn't have the liberty of that air gap, because whatever MRI reports are generated, they're supposed to be visible to the user on his mobile phone. So he doesn't have, Dr. Meher doesn't have that liberty of maintaining air gap. And also, he has been through the thick of the things while negotiating one of the most, I would say, publicized ransomware attack in Indian history, which was on his organization. So we would like to hear from Dr. Meher, your lessons learned, and also how you are managing OT with this internet connectivity, and your roadmap or threat perception still continuing with respect to ransomware. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks to T4D to inviting me in such a wonderful event. And the panel is also, it is one wonderful topic. It is already been given the message to everyone because everybody knows about the cyber security and what it is and how resilient it's supposed to be. The question which has thrown to me, it is a very long question it has given to me. Anyway, now we come to the, first of all, you have to understand that we have a tremendous pressure for us to digital transformations, and each application has to be deployed on time. But we lack that when they design a digital transformation applications, is it be designed and you have taken care of the cyber security in the application or not? That was lacking. Right now, people have started doing it, but in the past applications, it was not there. So it starts from there that whether your applications is enable your all the threats within the applications. Now we come to the cyber resilient programs, how it is here. On November 22, 2022, the first attack has been done in AIMS, and it is the eye-opener for many organizations, not in the government or public or private people also. They are aware that this kind of may be happen. And if you are vigilant, it is not sufficient. Because if you follow the protocols as per the government guidelines, if some attacks has been done and you have declared that it has been, we have attacked by the particular ransomware or something, you have to register the FIR in the police as well as you have to inform the certain. When you have done it, your whole infrastructure will be seized by the police. Then what to do? If it is seized, then your application will not run. You can't access to the system. Do you have any registered programs that if it is seized, my main application is supposed to run it? And you do not know that when it is seized, it will take how many days or how many months. So, and what you have told me that we have the both OT and IDXTV activities. Lot of IoT devices connected with the main applications. And we have given the authorized to use the patient to assess their medical records. Doctor has to access the medical records from the remotely also. And we have a smart labs, robotic labs. It is also connected. And many third-party applications is integrated. The medicine is coming from the manufacturer, it is integrated. Your supply chain is integrated. It is not a small area to do it. Many organizations, they may not have that much of variety of services, though it is a institute, but it is a lot of services. It is all the things it is, what it is available in the technology, it is required in our institution in this healthcare. And you have to be protect everything. And you can't believe it. We have around more than 45,000 endpoints. I hope very few organizations, they might have that much of endpoints. And that is the main source of attack. Second part is that we have around more than 700 applications it is running. We have around 1,200 IoT devices connected with the ventilator, connected with the many other devices. And how it will be protected? We have, see, when the attack has done, my whole system is exposed. My policy is exposed. My architecture is exposed. and how to come out from that exposed to the new environments. Are you ready for it? And that was, we are not ready. That's why it has taken 15 days to come to the real world. Plus, there is the agency also, they do not allow us to give the access to our whole data. So, right now, we have made the flexibility in such a way that how to protect our IoT devices, OT infrastructures, and simultaneously how much we are resilient to any attacks. So we have defined what is your RTO and RPO. Second part is we have done it that regular assessment. There is two assessments we are doing it. One is the self-assessment and one is the third-party assessment. So that we will know that because on the running, we may be some vulnerability on some area you have left out. We are unable to detect ourselves. So we have a red team and blue teams, they are working on it and they are doing the internal assessment. The team is, and we have increased our teams and we are always giving a latest technology training programs to make the capacity building of the cyber security knowledge. Third one is that when the IoT devices, it is more vulnerable. There are two major attacks that has happened in the world right now. Is through IoTs, another one is your supply chain. So we have made, because many people they think, मेरे पास EDR है, MDR है, XDR है, GTNA है, Zero Trust Architecture है. Everything it will vanish when because all are not 100% to protect you. You have to be more alert on your SOC and SOC. The problem is that if a doctor is doing research, he needs the data, he's accessing the data, and he's accessing the petabyte of data, and false alarming it is coming up. And if you block it, again he'll face the problem because all the doctors, they do the research in the evening, in the night, and all the attacks is happening during that period of time. So these are the things it is required. So your SOC team is supposed to be well aware of that, what he is doing it, and what the policy has been done, and who is doing it. That is to be planned out in systematic way. This can be sorted out easily.
Thank you, Dr. Meher. That is a whole lot of wisdom, learning from someone who has been there, done that, and seen the environment and managed through the whole thing, restoring business continuity in the face of adversity. Sujay, I'll come to you next. You are an enabler for multiple businesses, and if I may say, smart cards in the smart card industry, you are the key to multiple gates. So what are the challenges that you are experiencing with respect to, if I may say, indirectly managing identity to the smart cards, and therefore what are the cyber threats which are being focused towards identity per se? Thank you.
Thank you, T4D, for inviting me, and good afternoon to all. See, when you talk about identity is also information, but very critical information, classified information. So, nowadays you have to understand that attacks are becoming very sophisticated. After the introduction of technology like AI, all these attacks like what the panel talked about, ransomware, phishing, they have become so much sophisticated. Sometimes it become very difficult to manage those. But if you have your proper enterprise risk assessment framework in your organization, you can mitigate those things. So when I talk about risk assessment framework, which is very important in our industry because we are very compliant, we manufacture a smart card, which is plastic money, credit card, debit card, PAN, Aadhaar, etc., driving license, etc. So this is a very compliant industry, and we need to keep the data very safeguarded. So the assessment and business impact analysis it's a paranoid thing, and it has to happen in a periodic basis, which gives us the gap and we have to proactively fill those gaps so that anything should not happen, any unwanted thing should not happen. So one of the most important thing is that enterprise risk assessment framework. Second, another important thing is that, which Dr. Saab talked about, continuous monitoring and simulation of all the technologies and the policies which you are using in your organization to safeguard your intellectual property. That has to be continuously. You have to be on toes. You cannot say that you have implemented X, Y, Z. I'm not taking the technology names or product names, and you are easy and having a good sleep. No, it has to be an ongoing monitoring, proactive monitoring, where you can use multiple things are there in place nowadays. And in case anything crops up during that monitoring and simulation, immediate action needs to be taken. So for that, also you need to have a good skill, guys, which is also a tough challenge nowadays. So overall, if you want to keep, I'm not talking about only identity, any kind of information which is critical to the organization, your intellectual property, you have to have these two are the very important thing. Apart from that, you need to have a continuous regular vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, etc., which I don't want to go in because everybody has that, and it has to be done in religiously. That I can submit here, because from my past more than 3 decades of experience, sometime people do it just for the formality of to submit the report to XYZ requirement, but that is should not be the good practice. Practice should be in a religious way, and immediate action is very important. Okay. This is my summation.
Thank you, Sujoy. From the users and those who are facing problems, I will now move to someone who is supposed to be a solution provider and solution provider at the global level. So Siddharth, you heard Dr. Meher. In fact, I'll have 2 parts to my question. One part is he had this challenge of the entire infrastructure being seized. How does he run his operations? So how would you as a CSP could probably pitch in by ensuring that his business continuity was not affected even if the certain machines were probably seized by the government. And the second part is you heard the entire threat landscape. So how do you address the issue of threat intelligence and at the global level, and how India can leverage from the capability that Google has? Thank you.
Thanks, Alok. Thanks. So, there's a very popular question or an anecdote that I generally raise to people that, where do you keep your household jewelry and valuables? Or where do you find them more safe? Is it more safe in your home locker, or is it more safe in a bank's locker? So, it's a no-brainer. It is, in my opinion, safer in a bank locker because the bank is trained to handle valuables. So similarly, an organization like ours, Google, has been providing services at scale to users over decades, whether it is Gmail or YouTube or Maps. Now, you can imagine the amount of focus that it has from the cyber criminals, and the amount of effort that Google has put in to ensure that these services continue to run without breaches. So from that aspect, what I would always suggest to enterprises is that you have to focus on your core functionality and outsource the primary task of ensuring that the IT infrastructure continues to run smoothly without any security breaches to the specialists, organizations which are in the business of doing that. So, that is where we come in. So we actually provide services to customers in India from my team panel data centers in India. One of them is in Mumbai and the second one is pretty close by here in Delhi NCR. And those services, they, as of now, touch wood, we've generally ensured that the service continuity SLAs which are publicized on our websites are retained and without any, outages and breaches. So that is one thing. Second thing is that, for people who have major issues with data residency on the cloud, we've also come up with offerings which are totally air gapped. we actually call it the Google Distributed Cloud Hosted, where we actually bring the power of Google Cloud to your data center, and it provides almost all the services that you can generally pick up from a standard VPC setup of Google Cloud. So that takes care of the data residency or the air gap part of hosting if you are part of a regulated industry, or if you have workloads which for some uh, reasons of secrecy and confidentiality cannot be hosted on cloud. So that takes care of the first part. Coming to the second part, again, so I think Rishi was presenting, and Google Threat Intel is probably one of the best in class strategic security offerings that is available in the market. It actually gives you a holistic solution as far as the entire infrastructure assessment is concerned, and the amount of vulnerability that you are exposed to as far as security threats are concerned. In the end, I would also like to sum up by telling that we also ensure while deploying all these solutions that the uh, manpower which is deployed at the customer end in deploying these solutions is also sensitized to the security practices that are worthy of a top tier enterprise, because eventually, in spite of whatever you may try, if the human resource is also not geared up to the sensitivity of cyber threat, then most of the security solutions and practices they fall flat. So that's about it.
Thank you, Siddharth. I see the timer ticking away. I will take about another round of questions of 30 seconds each. I'll request my panelists to be slightly short. Dr. Patel, Mr. Patel, there has been a huge push towards this IT-OT integration, and you say managing air gap. How do you manage IT-OT integration? What are your thoughts on IT-OT integration?
Actually, we think from starting that our systems are breached. Now something will always be breached. Now what we see is compartmentalization. Something is goes bad, okay, that will go bad. We think in that line. Now IT/OT you said specifically, yes, it is not air gapped. Ours is connected, but we ensure that data flows from OT to IT and not otherwise. Because our operation, even LAN in OT cannot operate that unless that person is in desk, hardware controls are there. So it is only one way. We use two set of firewall, one on OT side, one on IT side, managed by two different set of people. So generally same errors normally don't happen.
Thank you, Dr. Patel. Mr. Gupta, same question. He gave a firewall implementation. Your thoughts on data diodes that are the flavor of the day?
The same is here. Data diode is the only solution right now. Only solution for maintaining the air gap is the data diode nowadays.
So you are connected through data diodes, or you're not? You're not yet connected. Okay, but just a quick. Sorry, just though I'm getting into your time and the session time also. Data diodes in the market are today of two types. One is TCP, another is UDP. Anything which is TCP is not a data diode. It is giving a feedback, so it has a reverse path. So please do keep that.
We are in process of, we did our evaluation, gap analysis and everything. The solution in a nutshell, it will be a combination of, it is going to be a combination of technology and policies. Technology will play a vital role for data classification and retention. And policy will play an important role in terms of taking consents and maintaining those consents and etc. So both combination of both is going to help in the privacy.
Thank you, Sujay. Siddharth, your thoughts, last 30 seconds on whatever you heard till now.
So that's wonderful, and in fact that's what I would say, that as far as Google is concerned, whatever data privacy laws are there applicable internationally, we bring it to all our services that we provide from India, and in addition any other local laws which are applicable to that particular clause are of course complied with by us. So we comply with IT Act 2000. And of course there is a phenomenal amount of encryption that we provide, including at rest and in transit, and ISO 27001, which is about information security management systems, and also includes guidelines on handling PI data is something that we comply with.
Thank you, Siddharth. With that, we come to the end of this session. I must thank you for being a wonderful audience, and thank all my panelists for their thoughts and enlightening thoughts that they have shared with all of us. Maybe we have a quick time for 1 or 2 questions if they are there in the audience. I will take 2 questions. I am permitted to take 2 questions. So there's one question in the end. Can there a mic be there, please? I'll request you to kindly introduce yourself, and if possible, direct the question to the panelist concerned, or if it is me, then please let me know.
To stand up? Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. My name is Nilanjan Mukherjee. Alokji, you know me. So, my first question is to one of the panelists who spoke about DPDP protection, right? Do you feel that API security is very, very essential when you protect DPDPA assets?
Dr. Mayer, you would want to take on, or?
Right. And my second question, okay, once Dr. Mayer finish, I'll speak to Siddharth.
See, till date DPTP is not approved. Okay. Whatever the comments it has come from the public domains, they have to go through it and they have to again revise it. Again, it will go to the parliament for the approval. This is the things. Definitely, API is a main source of attack also. Okay, so that's why there's a lot of procedure standards are there. You protect your APIs, then you can make it secure. But when DPDP is finally not been approved, it is very difficult to give the comments on it, because this question, this is also, it has been discussed in the ministry about the API attacks and all these things. It has not been already been there. And second part is that the IT Act 2000 is too old. Another IT Act is coming up. Okay, so most probably they might be, because it is 3 months back, I had a meeting with the Ministry of IT. At that time I got this information from them. So new IT Act, it will come again. DPDP, how will impact, that is also they will look into it.
Nilanjan, just to add to that, API security is important, there is no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, when you are in the business of the security, at least security solution providing, we should be mindful of how much money that consumer can spend. The more granular you get, at the end of the day, I want to secure this. If I look at this premise where we are having, I want to secure this premise. Not every chair, every bed, every room, every floor, the entire lobby, and then the hotel. So there has to be a holistic view of cybersecurity. This is what I keep telling all my solution providers, that you can go in depth, but there is a cost that I have to pay, and you have to factor that in. Otherwise, cybersecurity is going to meet the same level of casualness that it is today. And one quick question, other than Nilanjan, if there's no one else, then I'll come to you.
No, one question. My query is with Siddharth, right? You spoke about Google Sovereign Cloud, right? Where you have data residency. Now you have come up with GDC disconnect or GDC air gap, which I have visibility, which is very, very crucial for the classified or private networks, right? How far we have reached on GDC disconnect?
Hi Nilanjan, I can't see you because of the glare of lights. But, so GDC disconnected, or we in fact call it GDC hosted or Google Sovereign Cloud, is a fully evolved offering from Google, and there are implementations that exist across the globe, and they are there in public domain. So to answer it in a nutshell, it's a fully stable offering from Google, which is being deployed and in production in some countries. We have references that are there in public domain as well.
Thank you, Siddharth. And with that, we come to the end of this discussion. I'd like to hand you over to my host for the continuation of the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alok Shankar Pandey, and all the eminent panelists for this session on creating resilient cybersecurity framework within organizations. A big round of applause for all of them, please. It was surely an insightful and interesting session on how can we create a robust and resilient cybersecurity framework within organizations. And Mr. Pandey has already made a crux of what has been discussed, so I don't want to repeat because we're anyways running short of time. So without taking much time, we would like to present a small token of appreciation from our side to all our eminent speakers, recognizing the efforts in the organizations in terms of IT and cybersecurity. We'll be presenting them with Cybersecurity Excellence Award. So we can start with Mr. Alok Shankar Pandey, Group GM IT and CISO, Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India. A huge round of applause for him, please. To Mr. Akshay Kumar Patel, GM IT and CISO, NTPC Limited. To Mr. Vivor Gupta, GM IT and CISO, NHPC Limited. To Dr. Sushil Kumar Meher, Head Health IT and CISO, AIMS. To Shujoy Brahmachari, CIO and CISO, Smart Card Business, Rose Meta Technology Limited. We can have a group photo and then we'll start a fireside chat and then a panel discussion. So we're running short of a group photo. To Mr. Siddharth also from Google Cloud. So we can have a group photo together. Thank you so much, all of you.